Om Ajnanathmirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. In the last class we have completed the chapter 3. Now we are proceeding to chapter 4. What we studied in chapter 3 is that the karma kanda and the karma yoga, what is the difference we have seen. The sinful reactions can be overcome by devotional service, and there is no enjoyment, Arjuna told, but Sri Krishna told, if you fight, if you win or lose, both ways you are going to gain. So this is a karma kanda. That means we are working by getting the benefit from the Vedas or from the injunctions of the Shastra. If there is any benefit, I will do that work. It's called karma kanda. So it is very attractive in the beginning for anybody to come to spiritual life. Whenever we present the spiritual practice to anybody, they will first see, is there any benefit for me? Can I become peaceful? Can I become happy? See, all these expectations people will come with to the spiritual life. Of course, the karma kanda can give much more than that. It can give heaven, and it can help one to peacefully live in this material world without getting entangled. A person will not go to hell if he properly performs the karma kanda activities. But it is not possible to perform all the karma kanda activities without making any mistake. There are examples of Mriga Maharaj. So Krishna takes Arjuna to one more higher level, that is Buddhi Yoga, or the Karma Yoga, where Krishna is telling Arjuna, you perform your activity as a matter of duty. Just like Lord Krishna also doesn't have anything to do. He is not bound by anything, but still he is performing the activities just to give an example for others. So a devotee also, he is not bound by any rules and regulations, but still he should act to give a good example to others. Yad yad acharati shreshta. Whoever the leaders are there, how the leaders are acting, accordingly others will follow. As a conclusion of this third chapter, we have seen what is the obstruction when a person knows what is right, what is wrong, still he doesn't follow. What is the problem? Then we understood, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that it is the lust. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhi enamiha vairinam. The greatest enemy is the lust and the anger. And we also saw the sitting place of this lust and anger, and how to overcome this. To overcome the lust and anger, we should develop knowledge. By using the knowledge, the last shloka of this third chapter, if you see there, 43, Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to material senses, mind, and intelligence, one should control the lower self by the higher self, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So, this is the conclusion of third chapter. Now, in this fourth chapter, we are learning how to overcome this lust by developing this spiritual strength or the spiritual science. How to, by knowing the spiritual science or the knowledge, we can overcome this lust. Krishna also gives the history of this transcendental knowledge. So the name of the chapter itself given by Srila Prabhupada as transcendental knowledge, or it is also called Jnana Yoga. So this chapter is dealing with the knowledge aspect. We will start with the today's presentation. Let us take the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Let us offer our humble obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Gaurnitai. By taking the blessings, let us start our today's studies. So this is the first unit, that is the first part. In that there are 6 chapters, and we have done with the 3 chapters. Now we are proceeding to chapter number 4. This is the 7th class. So 6th chapter deals with the how practice of Krishna consciousness is transcendental to Varnashrama Dharma, and why Krishna follows Varnashrama Dharma. Just that is for giving the example. Following Varnashrama Dharma in ISKCON, these things we have discussed, and Krishna's responses to Arjuna's 4th reason, that is destruction of the dynasty. This is also answered. Then Krishna's analysis of lust till the end of the chapter. Now let us continue to the chapter number 4. The first shloka of this chapter Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Abravit. Anybody wants to read the shloka can raise their hand. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Shloka number 1, chapter number 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Imam vivasvade yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivatsvan manave praha manurikshvagave vabravit. Hare Krishna.
Dipti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshvake Abravit.
Hare Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Abravit.
Thank you, Mataji. Shri Hari Priya Mataji, you can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You have multiple devices. You can mute one of them.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswana. And Vivaswana instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Evam parampara prapta. Let us do the second one also. This comes in the second one. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. Radha Vallavi Mataji, you can read the shloka.
एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम् इमं राजस्य सोविदु साकालेन महता योगो नष्ट परन्तप. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Jayanti Mataji.
एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम् इमां राजर्षयो विदु स कालनेह महाता योगो नास्ता परंतपा.
Hare
हरे कृष्ण
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकालेन महता योगो नष्टा परन्तप.
Thank you, Mataji. Shri Priya Mataji, you can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So this is how the transcendental knowledge has come here. It is not that Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna for the first time. Bhagavad Gita was there even before Arjuna and Krishna's this instruction. Before the battle occurred, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was existing. So before that, when it happened, that one instruction or instance Arjuna Krishna is explaining here, Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan. Then Vivaswan spoke this knowledge to Manu, and Manu instructed to his son Ikshvaku, and in this way it has come in the parampara, that is Raja Rishi, those who were kings as well as saints. The saintly kings, they have brought this knowledge in the parampara system. That means the father has instructed his son, the spiritual master has instructed his disciple. In this way, it has come down till here. So it is very, very important to understand the spiritual science in the line of disciplic succession. Because if we see in the material education also, whenever we take admission to the college, we should see whether the college is permitted. It has got the affiliation to a proper university which is recognized by the government. Then only we take the degree there. Otherwise, whatever certificate we are getting, it is not of any use. It may not be useful for attaining anything in life. So similarly, the spiritual science also, the spiritual knowledge what we receive, we should not neglect. We should receive it with the proper parampara system, proper disciplic succession. There are 4 Vaishnava parampara. We are coming under Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. In the previous levels of study of Bhagavad Gita, you must have studied the 4 parampara in detail. One is the Sri Sampradaya, that is Lakshmi Devi. Ramanujacharya is the prominent Acharya in that. And then Kumara Sampradaya, Nimbarkacharya is the prominent Acharya in that. And Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami is the prominent Acharya. And ours is the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. In this, Madhvacharya is the prominent Acharya. This is the parampara coming from Lord Brahma. So in this way, the parampara has come. So here, Krishna has spoken this Bhagavad Gita in the beginning of this Manvantara, the beginning, even before beginning of the Manvantara, to Vivaswan, that is the sun god. Every kalpa of Brahma, that is the day of Brahma, there will be different sun. Just like if you must have seen this image. So you can see here, this is Kali Yuga, where it has 432,000 years, or 432,000 years together. It makes one Kali Yuga. 2 times of this Kali Yuga is Dwapara Yuga, and 3 times is Treta Yuga. That means the 3 times of Kali Yuga, and 4 times of Kali Yuga is Satya Yuga. So all this together, it makes 10 times. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. So 10 times Kali Yuga is makes one complete Divya Yuga. And this Divya Yuga, if you combine 71 Divya Yuga like this, then it becomes one Manvantara. That is 306.72 million years. This one Manvantara, like that, if we combine 7 Manvantara together, it makes one day of Brahma. And the present Manvantara is the 7th Manvantara. It is called Vaivasvata Manvantara. And Vivaswan is the Manu here. And that Vivaswan, so sun, is the son of Surya is the Manu here. So already we have passed the 6 Manvantaras, and the 7th one is going on. And in this present Manvantara also, out of 71, we are in the 28th Divya Yuga. 28th Divya Yuga is going on. In that 28th Divya Yuga, we have already completed the Dwapara Yuga. Now the Kali Yuga is going on. So in the 7th Manvantara of Brahma, in the 28th Divya Yuga, during the end of Dwapara Yuga, Lord Krishna comes. That means only once in a day of Brahma, Lord Krishna is coming. So we can see how fortunate we are. We are very close to the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Just 5,000 years have gone. Only we are very, very close to the pastimes of Lord Krishna. As compared to this 306.72 million years, we are very close. So this is the calculation we can see. Then why again and again Krishna speaks this spiritual science? Sa kale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. In course of time, the cessation was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Whenever as the time goes on, the time is a very powerful factor. Time can destroy everything. So because of the time, people may misunderstand the meaning of the Shastra, or there may not be proper instruction, or the discipline succession may be broken. There may not be a person to give the knowledge to his next generation. So in such cases, the knowledge appears to be lost. The knowledge originally it is not lost, but it is not spreading, or the person who is supposed to receive it is not able to receive through the proper channel. In that case, Lord Krishna, he himself personally comes here, and he will re-establish the dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He will come here and he will re-establish the dharma, or he gives the spiritual knowledge. Anybody would like to read this? Radha Vallavi Mataji.
The time is very powerful. It changes, kills the original position. You have got experience. You purchase one thing, it is very fresh, new. But time will kill it. It will become shabby. It will be useless at a time, in due course of time. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, ma'am. So this is the power of time. So time can destroy anything. There are so many people have come and gone in the past, but they are not there. Their achievements, everything is gone as the time passes. Radha Gopal Prabhu. Sorry, Giridhar Gopal Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
Hare. This material time, it is called Kala. This Kala is also another form of Krishna. So Kalena Mahata. Therefore, it is called Mahata. It is very powerful. It is not ordinary thing. Mahata, its business is to destroy. Bhagavad Gita 4.2. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So Kala, it is not only the time what we see in the watch. The Kala is a form of Lord Krishna himself. It has the power to destroy everything. Kala, Kalosmi Lokakshayakrit. Krishna speaks in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In the form of time, in the form of Kala, the English word time is not proper equivalent to Kala. Kala is much more. So it is the one which can destroy anything. Anybody else? Yeah, Murali Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken. And therefore, he declared that the purpose of
Hare Krishna.
He declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment also, there are so many editions of the Gita, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Here, Prabhupada is speaking about the present situation. Now, we can see in the market, if you go and ask in the shop for Bhagavad Gita, there are some 600 to 700 editions of Bhagavad Gita. So, which one to read, which one will guide us in understanding the true spiritual science? That is a big question. So, for that reason, Prabhupada has given this Bhagavad Gita as it is, Yatha Rupa. That means whatever Krishna spoke and whatever Arjuna heard and whatever the real meaning is there, that is given in Bhagavad Gita as it is. Prabhupada, when he went to America, these books were there in America. There were Bhagavad Gita copies available. But those people who read it, they never become devotees. But when Prabhupada introduced this Bhagavad Gita as it is, thousands of people became devotees of Lord and they understood the spiritual science as it is. So that is the one which makes the difference. This is the real knowledge what Srila Prabhupada has given in the Bhagavad Gita as it is. It solves all the questions. Otherwise, people try to put their own understanding, their own explanation or the stories into the book and they call it as Bhagavad Gita because the name Bhagavad Gita is very famous. It sells very fast, but it will not do the job which it is supposed to do. So Prabhupada is mentioning here now it is almost looks like lost. So there is a necessity for spreading this Bhagavad Gita as it is. So it will give the people the real knowledge. Deepa Rani Mataji.
Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English, as it is received by the Parampara disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great one. Bhagavad Gita accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. Purport 4.2. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here Prabhupada giving the purport of this same shloka. This is the necessity. This is very much needed. If we want to educate people, we should give them the real knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If we see any other Bhagavad Gita, the book, in that hardly we can find the name of Arjuna and Krishna. They have written so many volumes of paragraphs, and it is not speaking anything about Lord Krishna or Arjuna, and they never use the word Krishna and Arjuna anywhere. But if we see Bhagavad Gita as it is, every page we can see there will be so many times Prabhupada has used the word Krishna and Arjuna. That means he is speaking what Arjuna heard from Krishna, the original conversation of Bhagavad Gita, that is Srila Prabhupada has given, and he has explained this Sanskrit in the English language in a very systematic manner with word by word meaning, with proper translation, and giving so many quotations in the purport for many other scriptures which are helpful in understanding the science of spirituality. So Prabhupada has taken so much of effort to produce this Bhagavad Gita as it is for all of us. He has written this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita in the midnight, and he was hardly sleeping for 3 to 4 hours in a day. He has taken so much of effort just to give this knowledge to us. So it is our duty to take advantage of this. We have to read Bhagavad Gita every day, and we should understand the science of spirituality. Deepti Sahu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
The sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the signs to him? Bhagavad Gita 4.4.
Yes. Thank you, Mother.
Hare
So the question Arjuna is asking to Krishna. Krishna, you are telling that you have spoken this Bhagavad Gita to sun god, and you are of my age. We both are contemporary. But how can I understand that you have spoken this Bhagavad Gita to sun god? Because as per the calculation, if we see, it is so many millions of years ago, Krishna spoke this to sun god. But Arjuna is getting confused. How can I understand? This is the question. Sun god, how can be it is possible? So Krishna is answering this question of Arjuna. Janma karma cha me divyam. Sureshwar Priya Mataji. Just a minute, previously.
Hare Krishna.
Wait a minute, Mataji. There is one slide is missing. Yeah, this one. I don't know. Sometimes it skips. Yes, it is skipping. Okay, you directly read from here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava chatyuna tanni aham veda sarvani natum veda parantapa. Many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. Bhagavad Gita 4.5. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So Arjuna, Krishna is telling that we have passed so many births, both me and you, but you can't remember. I can remember. Why? Because Krishna's body is transcendental. Our body is material. We change body, but Krishna doesn't change his body when he comes here. He directly comes. He is not bound by the rules of this material energy. There is no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna's soul. There is no such thing. But for us, there is a difference. Our body is made of 5 elements, and within this body, the soul is present. That is, we ourselves is present in this body, material body. But for Krishna, he is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is the personality of Godhead, and we should not think that inside Krishna there is soul. That is a wrong understanding. Krishna is the spiritual entity. He is the Satchidananda Vigraha. So because he doesn't change his body, and because he doesn't have this material body, he don't forget anything. But when we undergo this birth and death, and when we change the body, material body, we forget whatever happened in our past life, and we are not able to remember anything, whatever earlier happened. But Krishna can remember each and every living entity, how many births they have taken and what is their future. Everything is known to Krishna. Even though we don't remember it, it does not mean that it has not happened. Things have happened, but we have forgotten. Giridhar Gopal Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The living entity forgets everything due to his change of body, but the Lord remembers because he does not change the Sachidananda body.
Yes, thank you.
4.5.
So Krishna don't have to change his body. Yeah. Sri Hari Priya Mataji. Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
How God can forget? If you forget,
Again muted.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
How God can forget? If you forget, then you are not God immediately. There is no other argument. God cannot forget. God remembers always. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, God cannot forget. There is, we continue this argument, then we'll come to know what is Prabhupada is speaking. Jayanti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Mayavadi philosopher says that I am God. Now I am under illusion of Maya. I have forgotten myself that I am God, and my meditation I shall become God.
Yes, thank you.
This is all nonsense. Nobody, God cannot forget himself. Then he is not God. Bhagavad Gita 4.16. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So Mayavada, we have learned what is Mayavada means. The person, if a person who claims to be a spiritualist says that presently I have forgotten and I don't remember anything of my spiritual body or spiritual life or what I was in the previous life. But once I advance in my spirituality, then I can remember it. Then I will also become God. Then there is no difference between me and God. So then I will merge in the existence of the God, and there is no separate existence for me. So this is the argument or the philosophy of Mayavadis. Why they are called as Mayavadi? They try to bring Lord Krishna also under Maya. Whatever they say that now I have forgotten and later I'll become God. That means at present the God is under the control of Maya. God will never come under the control of Maya. God or Krishna is like the sun. Sun cannot be covered by the darkness. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhakara. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Mayara Adhikara. Wherever there is Krishna, there is light, and no darkness can cover him. So because the Mayavadi philosophers says that they are God, but presently they are under Maya, so they are called as Mayavadis. And the definition of God, he is the creator of everything. Whatever is we can see, everything comes from God. Then somebody may ask, who is the creator of God? Who created God? So if somebody has created God, then that creator becomes the God and not the created God. So there is no creator for the God. The Lord is the one. Anadir Adir Govinda. The one who is the Adi for everything, who is the origin for everything. And Anadi, one who doesn't have a origin. That is the definition of the Lord. So we should not misunderstand, or we should not get confused that by that kind of argument, who created God. If somebody has created God, then that created person becomes God. You are not the one who has got created. So similarly, how God can forget? God is supreme. He will not forget. Anybody forgets, just like the Mayavadi says, I have forgotten now, and later I will become God. It is not possible. If you are forgotten, then you are not God. God will remember always. Now there is a group activity. Janma karma cha me divyam. Let us discuss about the transcendental activities, the birth and activities of the Lord. Identify points relevant for preaching from Bhagavad Gita. That means the question is here, how you are able to, or how you will be able to convince someone about the birth and activities of the Lord, being it different from the activities of material living entity. Pay special attention to Sanskrit words and phrases, analogies. You can use the text number 6789. 6789. 4 shloka and purport you can read, and you can try to give the explanation. We will have a breakout room now. Shall I do 6 breakout rooms? Is it okay, Prabhuji?
We are only 16 inside today.
Okay.
4 will be enough.
4 is enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll have 3 minutes of discussion and 2 minutes each for presentation. Yeah. The room is open now. Okay, Hare Krishna. I'm closing the meeting rooms. You can come back in 1 minute. Okay, all have come back. So now we are discussing about how Krishna's birth and activity is different from anyone else, any other living entity, and what is the reason he is coming here, and what are the analogies that Prabhupada has given here to understand the transcendental Janma and Karma, the birth and activities of Lord Krishna. So I request the devotees to raise their hand to start giving the explanation, start the discussion. Who will start with? Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In these 4 shlokas, we all read these shlokas and we could not complete the entire text. But whatever we gathered, I'm just giving the gist.
Yes.
So the first one, text number 7. Text number 6, he is telling that Ajobi San Avyayatma, that is, he is unborn. So he is already there. He is not having birth like an ordinary human being. So he is God. And again, he is not an ordinary person. And again, there is in purport, it is said that his prakriti or his form, as well as Swarupa or one's own change, his body as a common living entity changes from one body to another. So he is not changing his body just like any other living entities. Now coming to text number 7, there it is, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. He is telling that is, whenever there is a decline of religion and irreligious practice becomes very prominent, that time he takes birth. And Srijami, there is a word called Srijami. Srijami means I manifest. Aham, I. Aham means I. Now in the next one, that is text 8, he is telling Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkridam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So just to protect the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants, he is taking birth. He is appearing millennium after millennium. Then next in the 9th one, Janma Karma Me Divyam. So his birth itself is Divyam, that is, he is transcendental and does not, and my appearance and activities does not upon leaving the body takes birth again. So he is just appearing and disappearing. He is not taking birth like an ordinary human being. This is what we understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to add one point.
Yes.
He does not take birth, grow old, or go forward. He remains eternally youthful, and that's the key to his difference between the life we live and Krishna lived. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Other groups? Radha Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we did not agree who will present, but some of the points I can tell and others can add to it. Verse number 6, as Mataji had also explained, Lord is unborn. and his transcendental body can never be deteriorated. And although Lord, he appears like a ordinary living being because of his when he had taken birth as Krishna, but before birth of Krishna, he had shown Narayan Sarup also to Mother Kunti. So he can appear in millennium after millennium in the original and transcendental form. While in the human beings, ordinary man cannot remember everything, but Lord remembers everything. Life for all the yugas. And Lord Krishna is always the same. He grows only till youth. His appearance and disappearance are completely, different. That is from verse number 6. Verse number 7. Yada yada hidharmasya. Yes. He takes to annihilate the miscreants. He 7th and 8th. Annihilate the miscreants. He takes birth yuga after yuga and protect the devotees. And verse number 9, the birth of Lord Krishna is Divyam, and he is not appearing and disappearing. He's already always. Also, Vedas also confirm that he is Supreme Personality and he is Divyam, and he's there every time. Sorry. Sarita Mataji and Pradosh Prabhu, you want to add?
Yeah. Pradosh Prabhu, Hare Krishna, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danbat Pranam Mataji Danbat Pranam. Just to add few things, Prabhuji, as it is mentioned, the analogy part, Sarita Mataji can explain, because we discussed about the analogy of the sun. Although sun is always there, but few parts of the earth, sometimes they are able to see the sun and they think it is the time when we can see. And a few other parts in the world or earth, they are unable to see the sun, and sometimes they believe the sun is not there, but it's not the truth. The truth is sun is always there. Like that, Lord is there all the time. And as a few Muridhara Prabhuji and few Matajis also, Dr. Saleja Mataji and Radha Vallabh Mataji has explained, in order to give the significance about the preaching application, yes, we can think different views like how, what, and why, because the world is right now very logical. So if someone asks why, so if the point asks why, then we can say yada yada hi dharmasya glanil bhavati bharata abhyuthanam tadatmanam sujamyaham. Whenever there is a decline in the religious practice and miscreants take in charge, then comes the next logic is why, how. Paritranaya sadhunam, those who are in pious and good things they are doing, in order to give them deliver. Pranitranaya sadhunam, sadhu, to help them. Vinasaya cha duskritam, those miscreants, to annihilate them. For that reason also, Lord, although unlike our normal birth, he takes millennium after millennium, takes birth. So over to Sarita Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Sarita Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, so basically, I think most of you all have covered. So Krishna's body is transcendental, Satchidananda. So it is, but our body is not like that. Our body is made of gross elements, and he is unborn, blissful, and knowledge. And also Krishna's, in Brahma Samhita also we have a shloka which says, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti, pashyanti panti kalyanti chiram jaganti. So his one organ can perform a function of other organs, but whereas we don't have that possibility. And Srujam, in the shloka 4.8, Krishna says, like Srujami, that is, he appears. We are forced to take a birth in a mother's womb because based on our karma. But then Lord chooses his parents. So that is one more thing which differentiate Lord from us. And Dharma, Prabhupada gives in purport Like Krishna says that whenever there is a decline in religion, so I appear, Krishna says. So Prabhupada gives it in the purport that dharma is what? So dharma is whatever Krishna, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So whatever God has given, the rules and regulations, principles, that is the dharma. And he appears out of his own internal potency, Atma Maya. So that is what. And then the analogy also, Prabhupada gives here, like the 2 plus 2, the mathematical analogy. So 2 plus 2 is 4. That remains in the basic class as well as in the advanced, it is same. But he compares this to the incarnations. But then the principles, I mean, I think but they come for a different purpose. Every incarnation has a different purpose. That's what he's mentioning. I have not gone through after those other shlokas.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Deepa Rani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
4.6 sloka. Ajopi sanabhyatma bhutanam ishvara kisan prakritim samadhisthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Here the point is Atma Maya. Atma Maya means Lord descends by his internal potency and not by external potency. And his body and intelligence, that is, never deteriorates. That means abhyayam. Abhyayam means never deteriorates, and it is never contaminated by material nature. And here one more point is that the Prakriti. Prakriti means the nature or the Swarupa of or the form of the Lord. And the form is incomparable, which is not contaminated by the material nature. And it is also, it does also mean that Lord descends by his causeless mercy. It is only due to his causeless mercy, so that we can concentrate on his form only and not on any mental imaginations or concoctions. And here the analogy in this verse is the Lord, his appearance and disappearances are like the sun's rising and setting of the sun. And when the sun, when the sun rises, that means sun's presence is known, and when the sun sets, that means sun's presence is hidden. So that is the analogy which is given by Prabhupada. And next is 4.8. 4.8. And 4.8 is Paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya cha duskritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Here the avatara of Kali Yuga is mentioned in this sloka, that is the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how does he had spread the religion and delivered the miscreants, that is told here in this sloka. And how did he propagate the Sankirtana movement throughout India to deliver the fallen souls with all Shastric proofs, that is the avatar is mentioned here. And the mission of Lord Chaitanya is he delivers the fallen souls by his causeless mercy, and only by broadcasting the Sankirtana movement all over the world. Next is 4.9. That janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Here the liberation of living entity is told, how the living entities are liberated from material bondage, which is not very easy. So there are two paths available, that is path of impersonalists and the path of devotees. Now there are two path of impersonalist and path of devotees. Both of them they have separate criteria, like in respect to endeavor, in respect to goal, and in respect to safety. So in respect to endeavor, the path of impersonalist is not very easy. They need to have many births. And the goal of the impersonalist, which is only like to reach Brahma Jyoti, which is only a partial success. And the safety for the impersonalist, there is a risk of falling down. And for the path of devotees in the Krishna consciousness, their endeavor is very easy, and they they understand the transcendental nature of the Lord, and their goal is to reach abode of Krishna and the safety where the Lord protects them from all the fall downs and against all the accidents of the material world. And the analogy given in this is licking the outer surface of the honey bottle. This is the analogy which is given. And here you can conclude from this sloka that we need to cultivate Krishna consciousness with our complete faith and knowledge and attain perfection. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lot of analogies you have highlighted. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Rakshita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Almost everything is covered. So I just wanted to add. So in Brahma Samhita, there is a shloka. Advaitam achyutamanadimananta rupam adhyam purana purusham navayavanam cha vedeshu durlamamadurlamamatma bhaktau govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Advaitam Achyutam. So he is the absolute person. He is infallible. He is without beginning. And also Brahma says Ishvara Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So he is the creator, he is the cause of all causes, and Anadiradir Govinda, he is beginningless, and he is the beginning of everything. And at the same time, he is youthful, he is the oldest person, and yet he is always a youth. And also in coming to his form, he is Aja, he is unborn, and also how the way he performed his transcendental activities in the world, Janma Karma Chami Divyam. So he married like 16,108 princesses, and all at the same time. And he was here on earth doing his transcendental pastimes, but at the same time he was in his Golok Vrindavan and all the Vaikuntha Lokas as well. And at the same time, he's in us as Paramatma, and at the same time, he's outside as well. So in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada keeps mentioning, he is in the world, but at the same time, he is aloof of the entire world. So that way, we cannot even compare ourselves with Krishna. And yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji, you want to add something?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. I just thought to add on the part of karma, where Krishna has showed like when we have, when a question comes like how different is Krishna from us, like the karma, the activities of the Lord also, like he has acted like he was like a cowherd boy and like normal cowherd boy, but then he has also performed like killing so many demons, and when he was a small child he killed Putana and he lifted the Govardhan Parvat. And he showed the Vishwaroop form. So these are all extraordinary activities only Lord can perform, not ordinary person can perform. So, and other thing, Mataji mentioned the 16,000 wife, like for every wife he had made a palace, right? So this is also something extraordinary. So Prabhupada gives a, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions that, so how to understand this? So we cannot just by mundane interpretation. So we cannot understand this. It will be like, he gives an analogy of licking a bottle of honey from outside. So you have to go through the Shastras and accept as it is, Shruti Pramana. I just thought to add.
Thanks.
Prabhuji, it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Prabhu, we'll take 5 minutes and finish this discussion. Then we'll go for Kirtan. Yeah. Deepti Sahu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, most of the things and the important points are covered. I would just like to highlight one point, that whenever Lord appears, it is there are two important things. One is he really wants his devotees to relish his pastimes. That is one. And the other one is that there is a specific mission which he wants to fulfill. And whenever he appears, based on the various yugas, it's based on the various kind of circumstances that he has to appear. So according to that, he takes the various incarnations. For example, as it is clear that he took the incarnation of Lord Buddha. I mean, Lord Buddha appeared, he is his incarnation. And there was a special purpose. The purpose was because that time many people were they were into non-violence. They were killing animals brutally. And he wanted to stop that. So that is why he came to deliver that kind of a message during that era. So that is the main key thing, that he has two important things that he wants. One is, as we have seen, that he wants to ensure that the demons do not stay anymore. Second is, he wants all his devotees to relish the pastimes along with him, and when they can see him, they can really they can reciprocate their love with him. And the other thing is that the circumstances, like what is the kind of need at that particular time, and accordingly he appears. So these are a few things which I wanted to cover, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All mostly has been all explained. Only what I wanted to say is that Krishna appears mainly for the sadhus, mainly, and he doesn't want for killing the Duskritinas. For him is nothing a big job. He can get one earthquake done and finished. All will be done. All will be finished. But he comes basically for his own devotees, for his own sadhus, and killing of demons was also his one of the major occupation at that time. He wanted to kill all the Duskritinas. Secondly, he was transcendental form. He exhibits the highest limit of his mellow of the transcendental form. His highest mellow, he wants to exhibit that. And then Vinasha Duskritanam, that he wants to kill all the ones who are the miscreants or the nuisance makers in the society. And for this, Krishna, being the primeval Lord, he appears like not in the order to make any administrative adjustments, but it actually exhibits his transcendental pastime, and thus attracts he wants to take the fallen souls back to Godhead. Now that is his main, that those who are fallen, to uplift them, and what all of you all are helping us to do it. Also, we fallen souls, you all are helping us to uplift a little, and then rest God will catch the hand and maybe pull us there. So that is what he wants to do. He wants his little devotion you show, and he'll pull you more progress towards him, and that is his main aim, to rescue the people who have fallen down. Then the examples are there of Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, and of the sun, that all have been quoted, most of them, and all, and the mathematics of 2 and 2, 4, and all those this time, which I've already been saying, so I don't want to repeat them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Shri Hari Priya Mataji, you want to add something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The only point which I want to add is, like, as a devotee wants to satisfy the Lord on the respect, similarly, Lord, the sajami of Lord happens. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Am
I audible?
There was some glitch.
Prabhuji.
Okay, we'll have.
Am I audible now?
No, Mataji, there is some network issue. Okay, anyhow, we'll have Kirtan for 5 minutes, then 5 more minutes we'll have break, then we'll come back. Netravati Mataji, who will do the Kirtan?
Sarita Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Somebody will share, or should I check myself?
Yeah, Mataji is doing.
Okay. One second. Sorry, I couldn't find my kattal. Okay, I'll just sing. Radha Krishna Pran Mora Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pran Mora जुगल किशोर जीवने मरणे गति हरो नाही मोरा जीवने मरणे गति हरो नाही मोरा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर कालिंदीर कूले केली कदंबेरवाना कालिंदीर कूले केली कदंबेरवाना रतना बेदीरा उपार गोसा बोधु जाना रतना बेदीरा उपार गोसा बोधु जाना राधा ना प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर श्यामा गौरी अंगे ते पचुआ श्यामा गौरी अंगे ते पचुआ चंदनेर गंधा हमारा दुलाबो कबे मुख चंद्रा हमारा दुलाबो कबे मुख चंद्रा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर गतिया मला तीर्मला गतिया मला तीर्मला दिवो दोहर काले आधारे याद दो कर्पूरा तंबूले आधारे तुलिया दिवो कर्पूरा तंबूले राधा कृष्ण प्राण जुगल किशोर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासीरानुदासा शिवाभिलाषा पुरी नरोत्तम दासा शिवाभिलाषा पुरी नरोत्तम दासा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर ललिता विशाखादी ललिता विशाखादी जता साकी वृंदा अग्नया कुरीबो शिवा चरणारविंदा अग्नया कुरीबो शिवा चरणारविंदा राधा कृष्ण प्राण जुगल किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण जुगल किशोर
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
We will be putting up the attendance link. Please ensure that you mark your attendance. Okay. Don't miss the bus. Thank you. We assemble again at 13:16, no? 116 or 117.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, in the meantime, can we read the translation?
ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ
Of,
ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನು ಅಂತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಯಾರು ಶ್ರೀ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಮಹಾಪ್ರಭುವಿನ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹುಚ್ಚನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ.
am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Sarita Mataji, would you like to read the translation also?
They have left on their break.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, I got muted and then I realized I should have read. Sorry. The divine couple, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, are my life and soul. In life or death, I have no other refugee but them. In a forest of small Kadamba trees on the bank of the Yamuna, I will seat the divine couple on the throne made of brilliant jewels. I will anoint their dark and fair forms with sandalwood paste scented with chuya, and I will fan them with the chamara whisk. Oh, when will I behold their moon-like faces? After stringing together garlands of malati flowers, I will place them around their necks, and I will offer tambula scented with camphor to their lotus mouths. With the permission of all Sakhis headed by Lalita and Vishaka, I will serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Narottama Dasa, the servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, longs for this service to the divine couple. Thank you.
Hari Bol Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll continue our discussion. We have discussed the few points regarding how Krishna's birth and activities are different from any other ordinary person, or he is not an ordinary child. Just like here, Devaki Vasudeva is getting the darshan of Lord in the form of Chaturbhuja Mahavishnu, and then he takes the form of small baby. So no children come like this. We all come by crying. Without Krishna has so many jewelry on his body, but we had nothing. So our condition is different completely from the Lord. So that is the difference. There are so many differences. Now Krishna is continuing his explanation to Arjuna. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvatah. Further he says, Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So what is the external reason for Krishna's appearance? That is Dharma samsthapana, principles of religion establishing, for the purpose of establishing the principles of religion. That is the reason why Krishna appears here. But the real reason, or another reason which is pleasing to Krishna, is to give pleasure to the devotees. Krishna is telling that I come here for killing the demons or dharma samsthapana. This is all reasons, the external reasons. But what is the real reason? It is for giving a association or giving a chance for the fallen conditioned soul to come back. When we are in this material world, we don't have any idea how will be the spiritual world. So if we want to know what is the taste of sugar candy, then somebody has to give a small piece of sugar candy and keep it in our tongue. Then we can understand, oh, it is so sweet. Whatever lecture we can give, sugar candy is made like this, it is so sweet, it is like this, but still unless we taste it, we don't get that desire for having it. So when Krishna comes here and performs his pastimes, and when devotees are able to relish that pastime directly as well as by hearing, even what we do, even when we read Bhagavatam every day, we are relishing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and it is so pleasing to the heart. So that taste, when we get a desire for going back to Krishna. So to evoke the love for God, Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakta Sadhya Kabunaya, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayodaya. Every devotee has, every person has devotion in his heart to Supreme Lord, but it is covered now. Now that covering has to be removed. Everyone is a devotee. Every person, every living entity, not only human being, every ants, beast, birds, reptiles, everything is a part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, Sri Hari Priya Mataji has gone to waiting room. So everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. But because of our forgetfulness, because of our attachment to this material world, we are stuck here. But how to go back to Godhead? Krishna is giving a chance here. So whoever understands this science of Krishna, the birth and activities, Krishna is giving the benediction that they will not come back again. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti, naiti, mameti, they will come to me. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So by this we can achieve the highest perfection of our life. So that is the greatest benediction of discussing the pastimes of the Lord. Is there any questions till now? Anybody? You can raise your hand. Muralidhar Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted that our group mark their attendance. I think 3 of them have not yet marked.
Yeah, I request the devotees to mark the attendance, please. Okay. Any questions still here? Anybody in our discussion? Okay, now we'll continue. So 4.10. Now what Krishna is continuing here? It is not that Arjuna is doing Arjuna is hearing the Bhagavad Gita and practicing for the first time. There are many people who in the past who have taken to this path and they have achieved the perfection. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we should not think that I am the first person to do this. There are millions of people who have followed Bhagavad Gita and they have achieved the perfection. This is a case study. Like whenever we go for any product, we'll see about how many reviews are there. So this is what Krishna is telling. There are so many people who have taken the advantage of this knowledge, and they all have come back to my abode. So you can also take to this, and you can also achieve the same result. And how to achieve this? Is it so difficult? Is it impossible? Or do we have to put too much of effort? Then Krishna is telling, don't worry, I am here. What he says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam satheva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Krishna is speaking, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So this is not one-sided. Devotion is not one-sided. As soon as we plan to see Krishna, Krishna makes the plan to see us or to bring us back to him. So our plan, according to our plan, Krishna also has a plan for taking us back to him. So don't think that I am sitting here simply, I am chanting every day. I don't know whether Krishna is able to look at me, or he has any plan for taking me back to Godhead or not. No, he is there in our heart and he is looking at us each and every second. And he has a bigger plan than us. Whatever we think of, he has much more for us. He is ready to take us back to him always. Now Krishna speaks about this knowledge. So what knowledge by gaining which we can go back to Krishna. Proceeding further. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. Now, this is the obstruction or obstacle for our devotion. So, why we come to devotional service? We see in the in our practice what is there in for me, what is there in it for me. If I chant, what do I get? So, if this is our motive, then we have the karmakanda portion where there is some attraction to start the bhakti or start the spiritual practice to get purified. But the problem is there is one more person who can give a quick result. If we come to Krishna, it takes more time. But if we go to demigods, they will satisfy immediately. So those who want to get the result, desired success immediately, some quick solution, then they go for demigods. So they will worship the demigod and they get the benefit without the protection. When we worship the demigods, the benediction or the result what we get, it is coming without any protection. Just like Hiranyakashipu got the benediction from Lord Brahma. He wanted to become immortal, but finally he got killed in the hands of Lord Narasimha. Similarly, Dhruva also wanted to get the kingdom. He also had the similar plan, but he worshipped Lord Krishna and he became eternal and he is still present in the Dhruvaloka. So he achieved what he wanted because he worshipped the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Hiranyakashipu could not achieve what he wanted because he worshipped a demigod. He did the demigod worship. Then how this is working, how the system of society, how it is working, that is Krishna is explaining here. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So Krishna has put this Varnashrama system, this Chaturvarnya, based on the guna and karma of the living entities. So there Krishna is not interfering. According to whatever guna and whatever swabhava a person has developed, you can choose whatever occupation possible for you and you will get the result. And like that you can just be there. You can just continue your life. You work, you'll get the result, you'll enjoy it. So this is the system what Krishna has made. But Krishna is telling in the second line, Tasya kartaram apimam, even though I have done it. With the akartaram avyam, don't think that I am the doer. I am the non-doer and I am unchangeable. How to understand this? Krishna is telling Maya Srishtam, I have done it. And again he is telling Akartaram Avyayam. This is completely opposite meaning. I have done everything and you should think that I have not done. How to understand this is, see, rain comes. Now in the main monsoon there is rain. So during the rain we can see all the vegetation come up. And during this period the plants will grow very nicely and the seed whichever was there, which got dried up, all the grass and all, it all comes up. So who is the cause of this vegetation? That is the rain. Rain is causing the vegetation to grow. But which vegetation has to be grown and to what extent, in what area? This is not decided by the rain. Rain is only creating an atmosphere. And what kind of vegetation is going to grow, that is not, the rain is not responsible for that. Similarly, Krishna has created a system, or he has made this society for our living, or we can live here peacefully by understanding the Shastra, by following the rules and regulations. But it does not mean that whatever mistakes we make and whatever problems we get into, Krishna is not responsible for that. We ourselves are responsible. Just like in a company, there is a CEO, there is a boss. He gives you all the facility for working for the betterment of the company. And it is our responsibility to get some success in the activity, in the office or in this institution or establishment. If we make any mistake, can we blame the owner of the company, the boss? You can't say, see, you have hired me and you have given me job. Because you have given me job, I have made this mistake. If I speak like this, we cannot accept it. I have given you job, yes, that is true. It is for making your life. And it is your responsibility to learn how to make your life, not to get into trouble by doing anything nonsense. So that is how it is. Maya Srishtam means Krishna is the maintainer of everyone. He is giving the rain, he has given the sun, he has given the air, he is maintaining each and everything he is doing. Vidya akartaram avyayam, but he will not take the result of our activity. He is not attached to it. He is completely aloof from that. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spriha iti mam yobhijananti karma bhirna sabadhyate. So this is one more statement Krishna is making. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Krishna, he will not get entangled by any of the reactions. When we do some activity, the result, we are bound to the result. I want something so that I am working. Because I am bound to the result, I am responsible for the good or bad of it. So the reaction affects me. It will limpanti, it will attach or it will affect me. But for Krishna, it will not attach or it will not affect him because he is transcendental. And further Krishna says, one who understands this, one who understands that Krishna is transcendental and he is not entangled in this fruitive action, that person also doesn't get entangled in the fruitive reaction. So this is the benediction what Krishna is giving. Just like Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam, when we understand that the birth and activity of the Lord is transcendental, then we also don't get this material birth again. Similarly, the activity or the reaction of Krishna, the activities of Krishna doesn't bind him. If we understand this also, then our activities also doesn't bind us. So this is the benediction Krishna is giving. We also don't get bound. Anybody understands this? So this is why we should understand Bhagavad Gita with proper parampara. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi guru karmaiva tasmatvam purvai purvataram kritam. So after understanding all these things, what we should do? All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. Why Krishna is telling all these things to Arjuna? Because Arjuna told, I am not going to fight. But Krishna is telling Arjuna, you should fight in this mood. You should fight without any attachment to your activity or result of this battle. This is karma yoga or this is buddhi yoga. If we also act in this way, like the mumukshubhi means one who is desiring to achieve this liberation, one who don't want to come back to this material world, which is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, they all should act in this way. An ignorant person and a person in knowledge both will act in the same way. Externally looks similar, but the understanding behind the activity, there is lot of difference. One person is getting entangled and another person is getting liberated. Further, Krishna is explaining about this kind of karma. Now, there are three types of karma based on the explanation of previous sloka. Some karma or activity will bind us and some activity does not bind. The person who understands all these previous instructions and one who acts accordingly, he will not get the binding. And Krishna gives some technical word for that. What he says? Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohita tatte karma pravakshyami yajñatva mokshase ashubhat. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. Now, whatever the problems that we have in our life, it is because of this bonding. We have desire and we have attachment to our work. So Krishna is explaining us how you can escape from this attachment or this reaction, the cause of our coming back. That is being explained here. But Krishna is warning us. See, the intelligent also bewildered. Don't think that it is so easy. You should take the help of Shastra, Guru and Sadhu in your path. Unless without doing that, you cannot proceed. This is the warning Krishna is giving. Intelligence also bewildered to understand the difference between action and inaction. What is action? That is the binding. What is inaction? The activity which is not binding. The difference between the two, understanding is not so easy. But Krishna is helping us to understand it. So what Krishna is speaking here. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. This is called karma, akarma, and vikarma. Karma means action or activity that we perform regularly, which has some reaction. And vikarma means the forbidden action, which is punishable even by the law of government. A civilized person will not act, will not do vikarma or forbidden action, the breaking of 4 regulative principles, that is vikarma. And karma means the fruitive activities. I do some activity and I desire some result for that. These all are coming under karma. The varnashrama system, whatever I perform, that all comes under karma. And what is inaction? That is beyond the 3 modes. Inaction means, in one word, if we want to say, whatever activity we do for the service of the Lord or for the pleasure of the Lord, it all comes under inaction. It has no reaction. Just like if we do some service for the government, again, we don't have to pay the tax. If we do something for ourselves, we should pay. Similarly, if we are acting for the pleasure of the Lord, again, Krishna will not give a reaction on top of that, because we are acting on behalf of Krishna under the guidance of spiritual master for the pleasure of the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that becomes inaction. So how to make our action into inaction? That is the question now. We all have desires. We cannot make our desire into 0. That is not possible. So we just have to dovetail our desire. our plan should become in line to the plan of the Lord. In the beginning, Arjuna was in one direction, Krishna was speaking in another direction. But now Arjuna has to be convinced to come in line to the Krishna's plan, so that the very purpose of coming to Kurukshetra is fulfilled, and Arjuna is doing his activity perfectly. So how to do this? What is inaction? Karmani akarmaya pashet akarmani cha karmaya sa buddhiman manusheshu sa yukta krishna karmakrit. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. This is one more jugglery. Action in inaction and inaction in action. Then he is not entangled. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men. He is the one who is intelligent. It is not so easy to understand which is action and inaction. And now here, what is this inaction in action or action in inaction? The activity performed by a ordinary person, just say for example, everyone wants to eat. We have to cook some food, otherwise we cannot live. Without tasting, without satisfying our tongue, we cannot eat anything. We cannot, if we give only rice without any salt also, how much we can eat? We can't eat anything. So there should be some salt in it, some chili should be there. Then only we can eat. Some taste. So taste is needed. Without taste, we cannot eat. So tasting means again it is an action, and it will again bind us. So what is the solution? You bring Krishna there. You offer the food before eating to Krishna and accept it as a prasada. Now then it becomes a inaction. Now this inaction is not binding us. It is not only not binding, it is also liberating. It is going to burn our karma. It is taking us in the exactly opposite direction. So that is action in inaction and inaction in action. It is the same activity what we were performing earlier, but now it has become inaction. So this is a person who is able to do this. He is the intelligent man. This can be applied everywhere. We can, like Prabhupada has used everything possible in the service of Krishna. In the foreign countries, in America, when Prabhupada was walking, there was a big bus, it was moving, and Prabhupada was looking at it. He looked very curiously. Then devotees asked, Prabhupada, why are you looking at that bus so much? Then Prabhupada was thinking, why can't we have a bus like this, filled with all our books, and it can go to each and every city, and it can distribute so many books. So devotee, he will dovetail everything in the service of the Lord. It is told that devotees see Krishna everywhere. What does it mean? Does it mean that they will see nobody else? Anything they can see that looks like Krishna only? Just like I'm seeing this computer. It is also looking, it doesn't look like a computer for me. It looks like a Krishna. No, that is not the meaning. It means that how to use everything in the service of Krishna. How everything, just like if we go to a park. So the park is having a very nice atmosphere. It has very cool breeze. A person who is in Rajasic mood, he will think that, oh, I'll bring my friends here. I can have a party. Or a person who is in Tamasic mood, nobody is disturbing me. I can have a nice sleep here. Nobody can disturb me. Or they will search for so many things. But a devotee goes there, he will think, oh, I can bring so many devotees here. We can have a kirtan so that many more people who are coming here, they will also join. And we can distribute some books and we can also distribute some prasadam so that many more people will come and join us and more people will become devotees so that Krishna will be happy. Our gurus will be happy. So how to spread Krishna consciousness? This is how we should see Krishna everywhere. This is real meaning of seeing Krishna everywhere. Whatever we see, there will be some rock music going on. People are jumping, dancing. Why can't we have a Krishna conscious kirtan like this? It is happening in many places. Why can't we bring many people, those who are, they don't know, people, those who come for the kirtans or songs, they just love music. In the beginning, that's what happened during the Prabhupada's time. The hippies, they were drunkards, they were drug addicts, all kinds of habits they had. But they had one thing, that they love music. Anybody sings, they get attracted. And Prabhupada started chanting or doing kirtan in the park. And they brought all their musical instruments and they started playing. Prabhupada did not obstruct. He just allowed them to be there. So they all started dancing, doing kirtan. Unknowingly, they got purified. Then they came to Krishna consciousness and they advanced in their life. So this is inaction. So action becomes inaction. So this is how we can escape from this material world. This science is not ordinary. This is the one which helps us. Just like a person who is behind the bar in the jail, the jailer is coming. Do you know this is the key? If you want to come out, you can come out, and hands over to you. So you just put your effort to remove the key and come out. That's all it is. Bhagavad Gita is telling us how to just get out of this material world without, you don't have to sacrifice or we don't have to give up anything. It is told, chodna nahi, jodna hai. We just have to attach, we just have to take Krishna and keep Krishna in the center. Then everything will become auspicious. A person may be in whatever condition he is, his auspiciousness begins at that moment itself. Whatever unfortunate state a person may be, it becomes a fortunate. A person might have lost everyone in his life. He has lost everything in his life. He has no money to live him a life also. But if he comes to spiritual life, that is the basic necessity. If a person has nothing, he has nobody, he has no responsibility, okay, you are always welcome to Krishna consciousness. You can come to temple and you can join here. You can perform spiritual activity and you can go back to Godhead. Others, we have so many responsibility. When we come to temple, we also plan when we are going back and what we have to do after going. But if this person, he has nothing. But otherwise, if there is no Krishna, then he has no plan. He has nothing, left or right, nothing is there. So in whatever condition, just like Ajamila, he was degraded to so much, but when he uttered the holy name of the Lord, his life changed. So whether we have everything or we don't have anything, everyone can begin the Krishna conscious life. Everyone can take to the devotional life of Lord Krishna. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa vajita jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu pandita buddha. One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. So this knowledge is compared to the fire. So this fire of knowledge can burn the reactions to all our activities. What is the condition here? Devoid of desire for sense gratification. Krishna is not asking us to give up your activity. You don't have to give up your activity. You perform your activity with Krishna, keeping Krishna at the center. Make your action into inaction. Then we can get liberated. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto nirashrayah karmani abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. So what Krishna is speaking here, even though a person does all kinds of activity, he is not performing no fruitive action. He is not entangled. A soldier in the border, he is protecting the country. He is killing so many enemies of opposite party. But killing is not acceptable, or it is bad. But because he is acting in the direction of the country or for the benefit of the country, he will not be punished. He will get Paramavir Chakra if he fights with the enemy. He will not get any reaction. Similarly, when we are acting for Krishna, then we don't get entangled. Yajna Shishtashina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbishay. Bhunjateti Agham Papa Ye Pachantyatma Karana. Yajna means Lord Krishna. The activity performed for the pleasure of Yajna Purusha is called Yajna. And by performing Yajna, we don't get entangled. Rather, it will free us from the entanglement. Nirashiryat chittatma tyaktva sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus, working, he is not affected by sinful reaction. So I request all the devotees to go through this chapter once again. So here Krishna is speaking, telling that one will not get attached by acting in this way. Yadricha labha santushto dvandvatito vimatsaraha sama siddhau siddhau cha kritva pina nibadhyate. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. These are the symptoms of a person who has achieved this in action. A person who is doing inaction or who is a devotee, he is not entangled by his activities. Gatasangasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajñayacharata karma samagram praviliyate. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. So in this way, a person comes to the transcendental position. Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havir, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom. Because of his full contribution to spiritual activities in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. Now Krishna is explaining how to perform the yajna. So what is yajna? The inaction. Why inaction? To get freed from the reaction. And how to get this? This is by gaining the knowledge. Now we have come to the point of yajna, performing yajna. So in this, the 25 to 33, Krishna is explaining how this yajna has to be performed. There are different types of yajna. Daivameva pare yajnam yogina paryupasate brahmagnau apare yajnam yajne naivopajuhvati. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them. And some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. So he is starting with the demigod worship. Worshipping the demigods is also kind of yajna. It also has some kind of purification or the coming to the Brahman realization, that is the superior to that. Then further going another level, Shrotavyadrini Shrotradini Indriyanyanye Sayyamagnishu Juhvati Shabdadin Vishayananya Indriyagnishu Juhvati. So other than that, some other kind of yajna, that is Some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. So there are two examples. One is for brahmachari, other one is for grahasthas. The brahmacharis, they are hearing the shastra. That is, through the ear, they do this yajna and through the mental control. And the grahasthas, they use their senses for serving the Lord by getting Krishna conscious children. So these all are kind of yajna. So these all not action. They will all come under the activity of inaction, provided it is done for the service of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord. Sarvanindriya karmani prana karmani chapare atma sanyama yogagnao juhvati jnana dipite. Others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblation into the fire of the controlled mind. So this is yogi who control all the senses and they do the meditation. This is through the control of the mind. So this will be explained further in the next coming chapter. In the 6th chapter, we'll see. Then further, Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, tatha pare, swadhyaya yajna, yajnascha, yathaya, sansita, vrata. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. These are the different yajnas. Whatever we have, dravya yajna, the possessions a person has, by sacrificing it for the pleasure of the Lord, he performs the yajna, and by doing so, he will get purified and he becomes eligible for going back to Godhead. And by studying Vedas, a person can advance in spiritual life. Apane juhvati pranam prane panam tatha pare pranapanagati rudhva pranayama parayana apare niyatahara pranan praneshu juhvati. Still others who are inclined to the process of breath restraint to remain in trance practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. Others curtailing the eating process offer the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. These are the Ashtanga Yoga. It is explained here how Ashtanga Yogi can perform the yajna and he can also get purified. This is a subject of chapter number 6. In that a person, he will do the breath control, that is pranayama and pratyahara. Pranayama means the breath control, pratyahara means the controlling of eating process. It is explained here. Sarvepyete yajna vido yajna kshapita kalmasha yajna shishtamrita bhujo yanti brahma sanatanam. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifice, they advance toward the supreme eternal atmosphere. So there is some taste when we perform the yajna. We get, when we satisfy the senses of the Lord, we also get satisfied. So in this way, the person who is engaged in the performance of yajna, he gets purified and he will become eligible for going back to Krishna. Nayam lokosti ayajnasya kutonya kurusattama. So this is the otherwise what will happen. O best of the Kuru dynasty. Without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? So in the next life also, forget about next life. If you want to be here happy, then you have to do yajna. So yajna, without yajna, we cannot get anna. That is in third chapter we have seen. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhava. So if we want to eat our food also, we should do yajna, and the same yajna will also help us to get liberated from this material world. Evam bahuvidha yajna vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan vidhitan sarvan evam jnatva vimokshase. All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. So this is all accepted by Veda, but Krishna is speaking, and we can perform them and we can get liberated, or we can get the we can escape from this material world. But he is finally concluding here. Shreyan dravya mayad yajnat jnana yajna param parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. So everything will culminate in knowledge, and a sacrifice done with the knowledge is better than doing it without knowledge. This is like if we simply do some yajna, if we get the yajna done by someone, we don't know what they are doing and why it is done. Because somebody told me it is purifying, it is good, I'm doing it. It is okay. It will also have some kind of purification. But it is better to know the reason behind it and then perform the yajna. So that is the better way of performing yajna. One more thing what we can understand, everything is culminating in transcendental knowledge. So this statement comes from the previous chapter. A person who is doing nishkama karma, or a person does activity for not having any material desire. So we can ask him, why you are doing this? What is the motive for your work? What is the reason for your activity? That is because I get the transcendental knowledge. There is no material result. Whatever activity I do, I don't take any of the result. Anything I don't take, then why should I do the activity? This is the reason. By performing this kind of activity without desiring for material result, material gain, we develop transcendental knowledge, which helps us to go back to Krishna. I'm sorry for doing little fast, because it was like that. So any questions, you can raise your hand. Whatever the jnana part we discussed till now. Anybody has any questions? It was little heavy for everyone. I can understand. I request everyone to read this once more and read along with the purport. Dipti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was a wonderful session.
Hare
Prabhuji, just one clarification. So when we mentioned, so basically the last point where Lord Krishna is concluding, we mean to say that Jnana Yoga is superior to, is that the Karma Yoga? Sorry, not the Karma Yoga, the Karma Kanda section, that Dravya Yagya or any kind of sacrifices. Is that what we meant, that Jnana Yoga is superior to Karma Kanda activities?
No, Mata. It is not Karma Kanda section. It is the Jnana, the knowledge, how to in action, how to perform the activity for the pleasure of the Lord.
Right.
That kind
Yes.
of jnana. It is not the jnana of how to be in this material world. That it becomes the
Correct.
karmakanda.
Yes. Correct. Yes, probably I got it. So basically, what we meant is, God is basically telling, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that Jnana Yoga is superior to all the other kind of sacrifices, possessions, the material possessions basically that we are referring to, isn't it?
Yeah, you should do
Last
the
one.
sacrifice with knowledge.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Without knowledge.
Yes. Yes. So that is Jnana Yoga that he is mentioning. And Jnana Yoga is superior to all these. Because when we do the devotion with the knowledge, then that is already automatically it becomes transcendental.
Yes. If you compare to third chapter, in the beginning it tells if you win the battle, you will get the kingdom. If you lose, you will get this heaven. This is the very basic. We can come to the level where we can understand why actually I am doing the activity. So when we come to that platform, that is much higher than that understanding.
Yes, Prabhuji, got it. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Rakshita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just wanted to know what is the difference between Karma Yoga and Karma Mishra Bhakti. Is it the same?
Karma Yoga is the Karma Yoga. In the beginning, what we do, the activities, when we keep Krishna also along with it, that becomes Karma Yoga. Karma Mishra Bhakti means when we are doing Bhakti, you also have some motives of material motives, then it becomes Karma Mishra Bhakti. These are two different concepts. It may look similar, but the Karma Yoga is coming in the beginning state. When a person is beginning his spirituality, he will not completely give up everything, but whatever action he is doing, a part of the result he is giving to Krishna, that becomes Karma Yoga. Karma Mishra Bhakti means I have already started doing my bhakti, but still I have not given up the tendency for some material gain. Then that becomes Karma Mishra Bhakti.
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is like your Karma Yoga means you are looking from the lower side, the beginning state of spirituality. Karma Mishra Bhakti means you are looking from the upper side. You are already devotee, but still you are performing some material activities which may not be required.
Then I think Karma Yoga will be superior to Karma Mishra Bhakti, right? Because even after becoming a devotee, we still have material motives. Then Karma Yoga is you dovetail everything to the Lord. It's like Nishkama Karma Yoga.
This is like saying a person who has come to devotion, he is still again going back to material life or still attaching himself to the material desires. He is not good. It is better a person who is sincerely following Krishna consciousness, even though he is a beginner. A beginner is better than an advanced, because the advanced he is still having some motives, and the beginner he is very sincere. If you say like that, that is the way what you told her.
Yes,
So beginner is a beginner, advanced is advanced, but advanced has attachment and beginner is innocent. Are you getting point?
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
Karma Yoga is a beginner, and Karma Mishra Bhakti, he has already advanced, but he has some attachment. So that you can choose. You cannot say which one is better. A sincere beginner is better than an advanced one who is still lagging in advancement.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Karunamay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bro. I just wanted to ask one question about, if I understood properly, that you said that knowledge burns the sinful reactions which we do, sinful activities which we do. So how it can happen?
Sinful action. What is the cause of sinful action activity? Is that the question?
So knowledge burns up the whole sinful reactions of the person if he has knowledge or something like that. So knowledge burns the whole sinful activities of person, of his sinful actions.
You're telling the burning.
Yeah.
Knowledge burns the sinful activities. Is that the question?
Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah. So knowledge is like the fire. It will burn the sinful activity. How it is possible? When we come to Krishna consciousness, we can take the example of eating prasadam. When we eat prasadam, it is like the yajna. Yajna Shishtashina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbishai. Krishna is telling it will remove all the reactions for our activity. When we come in Krishna consciousness, our sinful activity or sinful reactions, it will automatically get burnt. That is the nature of that is the power of devotional service. We are not able to give up so many of our bad habits because of this karma or the reactions. But when we come to Krishna consciousness, we can see people easily give up their bad habits or whatever anarthas are there. It all gets destroyed because we are advancing in our spiritual life. So the nature of spiritual life or spirituality or spiritual progress is our kleshagni. All our problems or all our material the reactions will get burnt. By devotion itself, it will happen. That is the nature itself. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Shri Hari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question is regarding what Rakshita Mataji said. Like, for example, I have my cousin who has made Srinathji, he has his own business and he has made Srinathji a partner in his firm, and whatever is the proportionate amount which comes, he divides equally among all his partners, and whatever is the share that comes to Thakurji, he gives it in the donation to Srinathji temple in Nathadwara. And he, in their house, they have the entire seva of Srinathji, and he does all the seva accordingly, all Mangala, then Darshan and Bhog, Prasadam, everything. So I want to ask which category it falls into, like where will we place him? And he is very committed to that, and he believes strongly that he exists and he is there as a person who's working with him in his business and everything. Like a activity is given to a human being the same way he's treating Srinathji Thakurji there. So I want to know in which category now he is falling into, whether it is Karma Yoga or it is Karma Mishra Bhakti.
He is taking Krishna as also a partner in his business.
Yes.
It is better than a person who is completely ignorant of the Lord, but he is not as he cannot take as the ultimate, because ultimately everything belongs to Krishna. He is telling this is yours and this is mine. That yours and mine concept is there still. So still he is having that karma concept, or Krishna, this is yours and this is mine. But for a pure devotee, everything belongs to Krishna. That is the highest one, and he is not at that level, but he is better than a person who is living forgetful of Krishna. You can say it is a karma yoga what he is doing. A part of his business he is giving to Lord sincerely.
And what he is practicing, like while performing all the puja, seva, archana and doing all the things, that is also karma yoga. Because he keeps saying that I am serving the Lord, this is God's business, and I assist him in his business.
Yes, Madhuri, it's a karma yoga what he is performing.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. All the questions have been very intelligent, but mine is a very foolish one, Prabhuji. So I just want to ask one thing: why the life became so complicated? God should have given us this karma you're doing, dekh samne tere, you get this punishment. So people will automatically become good. Now you're doing a deed and you're always in a dilemma. Am I doing a right thing? Am I doing a wrong? What will I go to? This will be for that Patal Lok, or this will be from for a Brahm Lok. What deed I'm doing? Couldn't be that there and then God shows us, see, if you do this, I'm showing his punishment to you. So automatically all human beings will become better, Prabhuji. I know it's a foolish question, but practically if you think, no, sometimes you are at a crossroad. You do not know which activity will do correct and which activity I'm doing wrong. I don't know. For me, I think it's correct, but maybe it's a wrong in God's eyes, or maybe in the God by karma definition, maybe I'm doing wrong. So how do we define this all difference? You don't have bad intention, but still something happens which I may think is correct, but it may be totally wrong. So why didn't God give, no, ye dekhiye kaam kar, isko ye tere ko punishment mila. Then we see everybody and we get a lesson and everybody will sit quietly.
Yeah, this is telling like you don't allow the children to think themselves. You don't allow them to grow or be matured. You just keep them, you be next to the child always and keep guiding. Then the child will not grow. It will not develop the maturity. Krishna don't want us to be like that. Krishna just can see. Krishna is so powerful. He can just put some. He can do some magic and take us everyone back to Godhead. Like the dolls, he can take. He can convert anybody's mind into anything. But it is not so. He wants us to be treated as a person, and he wants a spontaneous love for him. It is not a compulsion. Love means it should not be compulsive. It should come on its own. He has given all the freedom to us, but he will check how you are behaving. You become mature. You understand how to behave properly, and you learn it. Then you come. Don't come here. After coming here, you don't think of going back. That Krishna is not desired. It doesn't want. He wants us to get ready or learn, get matured, get all the freedom, and you learn how to use it. Then you learn it and then come.
But in learning, Prabhuji, to use it, we make mistakes, no? That is what is the biggest hitch in using any of his mercy. That you always will. Yeah, you commit mistakes and then you don't know that you committed a mistake also. Sometimes it's in ignorance also.
That's where Guru Sadhu Shastra comes into picture.
Uska punishment to milega na phir.
Guru Sadhu Shastra, these are given just like the Shastra is like the manual. When we buy a mobile, we get a manual, or anything else we buy. There is a manual how to use it. Similarly, when we came to this world, Krishna has created this Shastra, Vedas, and he has sent Guru and Sadhus who will guide us. Those who take the advantage of them, they will get liberated, or they will not get entangled, and others will get entangled.
And Prabhuji, what is actually the real knowledge? How do we define it as what is real knowledge? It's only to getting a connection with Lord, or just following his what, as you previously said, to follow the Shastras and what he has assigned for us to.
Converting your action into inaction.
Okay.
That is the knowledge. How do you dovetail your life so that in every step of your life you can remember Krishna? Smartavyam satatam Krishna vismartavyam najatuchit. Sarva vidhi nishedasur yetayoreva kinkaraha. Every day, don't always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. The essence of every Shastra, whatever do's and don'ts are given, the essence is this. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. The Bhakti Shastri course, what we are doing, the level 1, level 2 courses, what we did, every activity, whatever we are doing, but the reading of Bhagavad Gita, attending of Mangalarti, everything it has one motto or one purpose, means Smartavyam Satatam Krishna Vismartavyam Najatuchit. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. If your knowledge is helping you in this way, that is real knowledge. If your knowledge is not helping, then it is not real knowledge.
That answers the first question also then. Yes. To an extent. Yes. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Sureshwar Priya Mataji. I'm sorry it is getting a little late. I'll finish within 10 minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am just asking you some unrelated question. This question is there in my mind for such a long time. I never asked anybody yet. I'm just putting it in front of you. I just want to know about partial dissolution and total dissolution with reference to Varaha incarnation. Because in the first that Varaha, Shweta Varaha Kalpa, Lord Krishna has appeared as Varahamurti, and he put earth into the proper orbit. And later it was told that now that again there is a talk between partial dissolution and total dissolution, what it is exactly. And that red boar is coming to kill Hiranyaksha.
Yeah. This is partial
Third
dissolution.
chapter.
See that if you understand the timings of Brahma, you can understand this. When Lord Brahma dies, Brahma also has death.
Yes.
Of his 100 years, after his 100 years, everything is closed. That is complete destruction. And every day of Brahma there is closing. Just like you go to office, morning you open your files and evening you close it, lock it and come back. That is partial destruction. And when we completely give up our job, when we get retirement, then it's complete destruction. For us, it is destruction. For us, the office is closed forever. For Brahma, the Brahmanda is closed. The entire Brahmanda is meant for Brahma's activity. And Brahma is going means everything is dissolved. And every living entity who are present here, they will go to the Karanodakshaya Vishnu's body. In an inactive state, they will remain for some time. So that is complete destruction. And there are two Varaha Avatara. Yes, that is true in Vaivasvata Manvantara 1 and Swayambhuva Manvantara, another one was there. In more detail, you can read Bhagavatam Mataji. You'll get more details.
Next time, you please tell me about all these three different types of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu, Karanodakashaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakashaya. Today, there is no time. Next time, please.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It's a different topic. We'll do Mataji.
And now I just assume that now that total dissolution, total dissolution means it is the pralaya. One pralaya comes, the entire thing is going back to that samundar, and that is called, isn't it?
Total destruction. And partial destruction, the Brahmaloka and some of the higher loka, they are not destroyed. They'll remain. Only the lower planets will get destroyed.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for a wonderful lecture.
Yeah, we will complete our small presentation, whatever remaining now, quickly within 8 minutes. I'm sorry, very sorry for delay. So overview of the chapter. Just because of this one slide, I spoke so much. All this. See, this is the overview of fourth chapter. So first 10 shloka is talking about transcendental knowledge about Krishna, and 11 to 15, Krishna as the goal of all paths and the creator of Varnashrama, keeping Krishna at the center, how we have to perform the activities. Then Karma Yoga, that is for Jnani. Then what are the different kinds of sacrifices that we can perform. Then finally, next topic is summary of the transcendental knowledge. So how to receive the knowledge? This is the final question now. Now knowledge is needed. Everyone agreed. Yes, knowledge is needed. If I want to go back to Krishna. So where to get this knowledge? That is the next question. So Mataji has already asked once. So Guru and Krishna is coming in picture. So Guru is coming here. So who will read this? Please raise your hand. Shri Priya Sampat Mataji. You got muted.
Yeah.
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprakshnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshi. Who is a Tattvadarshi? The Guru. Guru has seen the truth. He is able to see Krishna and he is showing Krishna to us. So whatever Guru is speaking, that is the fact. And how to achieve the, how to receive this knowledge from the Guru? Tadvidhi pranipatena. One should fall down at the lotus feet of the Guru and he has to receive this knowledge with pariprashnena sevaya. By doing service to the Lord Guru, we have to ask him the questions and then we should get the knowledge. We should not challenge Guru. We should, being in a humble mood, we should ask and we should get the knowledge. So we can see the 4.34 purport. what we have to discuss. You can do this. Actually, we okay. All of you, we can just go open the 34. The next sloka. So there are 3 points here. Pranipatena, that is, nipat means to fall down, and prakrishta, with complete, without any reservation, one should fall down at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. That is complete surrender. And pariprashnena, one should ask the question properly. It is not like blind following. Whatever the guru says, I will accept without any question. And even though I have some doubts, I'll just follow him and I don't ask him. That is wrong. That is called blind following. And there should not be also absurd inquiries. That means unnecessary questions should not be asked, which is not helping us in our spiritual advancement. That also should not happen. Then the sevaya, one should perform seva to the Lord, and then we can advance in the spiritual life. So we can, I request all of you to go through this translation. Finally, what is the conclusion? Anybody likes to read this? Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In the ocean, however expert a swimmer one may be, the struggle for existence is very severe. If someone comes forward and lifts the struggling swimmer from the ocean, he is the greatest savior. 4.36 perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So that is the requirement for a guru. So how to approach the guru was spoken in the previous sloka. Now here 36 is saying everyone needs guru. It's not that somebody needs, somebody don't want. No, everyone wants guru, because it is not possible to swim over the ocean. I cannot jump here in Mangalore and get up in some Saudi Arabia. That is not possible. Whatever expert you may be, it is impossible. So it is not possible to swim over the ocean. It's a small ocean what we have here, and the ocean which is there, this Bhavasagara, it is much bigger. Anybody likes to read? Any volunteers? Giridhar Gopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So we require hundreds and thousands of spiritual masters who have understood that this Krishna science and preach all over the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what Prabhupada is saying here, everyone should come to Krishna consciousness. We need more and more teachers. We need more and more level 1 teachers, level 2 teachers, level 3 teachers, level 4 and Bhakti Shastris, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta, and Bhakti Sarvabhauma. These are all the different titles that are given. Srila Prabhupada has designed these studies. So we need more, hundreds and thousands of spiritual masters who have understood this Krishna science in the proper parampara and make more and more people into devotees and preach all over the world. Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, we have formed this society, and we invite all sincere souls to take part in the society and become a spiritual master and preach this science all over the world. There is great necessity of this knowledge. Bhagavad Gita 4.34 to 3.38. New York, August 17, 1966. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Prabhupada is telling everyone should come forward. It is not that I will preach only when I understood everything. Whatever we understand, we should preach. You don't have to remember all the 700 sloka of Bhagavad Gita to give a class on Bhagavad Gita. Whatever portion you have understood, you distribute that knowledge to others, and Krishna will become happy, Guru will become happy. When Guru and Krishna are pleased, we get more and more opportunities for serving the Guru and Krishna. So with this, we conclude today's Bhakti Shastri class. I am very sorry for delaying by 30 minutes, but it was necessary. It was the summary of 4th chapter. Any questions? Those who want to leave can leave. There is no rule that you have to continue. You can, if you are in a hurry, you can leave. I request. Anybody has any questions, they can raise their hand. And Muralidhar Prabhu, any announcements you have?
No problem. No announcements. I hope they have filled in their sadhana forms.
Yeah. Okay, if there are no more questions, we end today's class here. I thank all the devotees for actively participating in all the activities and coming for today's class. We'll meet in the next week with the 5th chapter. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
So much.
Krishna Prabhuji.